Всем привет, друзья! Мы продолжаем играть Deliverance 2. И мы сейчас скачем, чтобы помочь нашим. Правда, никто не видел. По порядку будем всех рубить. Да все, умираю. Ой, а чё руками дерется? Богу ты.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Conrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hannes?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but... not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein.
Блять.
She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally. The same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I won't give up on the fucker either. We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while. Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you. but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsch in return.
When he sees what von Bergau did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey. Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
And what am I supposed to do? Can I help somehow?
You've done enough, don't you think?
And I'm sure Liechtenstein can't wait to find out what was discussed at the city council.
How long do you want to hide from Sigismund?
Until my broken bones mend. Or I kick the bucket. Hard to say.
They brought me to Suchdal half dead too. 2-3 days, you'll be as good as new.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too.
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher.
Депутач.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Even a man like you can't know everything. At least you're all alive.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We can't give up now. It would only show Sigismund that he has nothing to fear.
Exactly. This is a test and an opportunity to show that we stand by our allies, whatever the cost.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
What will happen to his lordship now? And to us?
We have to take care of young Sir Christopher.
Блять, какие жалкие.
Yes. The best thing we can do is to keep doing our work.
What if the old lord doesn't come back?
Then we'll have a young one. He's not a little boy anymore. Soon he'll get married and have a bunch.
Well, at least it was over quick. Though, he almost took pinnacle.
Did I not tell you we should not come here?
You did. The others. Don't mourn just yet.
What have we gained?
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Why are you even telling me this?
I thought you would want to know. Martin was raising you instead of being with Mother and me.
I know what it's like. My real father rejected me too. I learnt the truth only after Pa's death.
You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
I'll be back soon.
Hurry up. Did I not tell you we should not come here?
You did.
Ну, надо больше нечего делать, правильно? Говорить не с кем.
And it was an honor to stand by your side.
I'm glad you did.
Even though that old bastard was hardly worth it. Don't say that. But if you got yourself killed, you wouldn't have helped.
Watching again. Aren't you... a priest?
That's true. We need to get you into safety. You're the Lord of Raborsh now.
Lord of Ruins.
I'll leave that out. At least you survived. Do you think you could make it to Suchdol?
I... hope so.
All right. Peter of Pisek is our ally. He'll surely let you stay there, at least until you get back on your feet.
No one knows where they took Odorin and the others. Don't mourn just yet.
Did I say anything like that?
Young Sir Christopher came out.
Мне интересно посмотреть за ним, что он будет делать.
Doing our
Так, ну здесь пусто. Ой.
What do you think of our band of outcasts?
Well, I cannot say I expected to end up in this kind of company, but a man must accept his destiny.
What do you think of Zhizka?
Le Chevalier Jan? Well, he's not doing badly for... That takes a lot more. Mark my...
How do you get on with Sir Hans?
Oh, young Lord Chapon may be inexperienced and hot-headed at times, but needless to say, he has... Godwin and Jiska can also play. And that devil in press clothing bit me. Merde.
Have you met Godwin?
The priest who is very skilled with a sword. Priests should not be such good swordsmen. In addition, he can play chess, and in drinking wine, he beats even the best Frenchmen.
What do you think of Sir Hinek?
Le diable sec. A capable chevalier.
You think so?
My instinct rarely...
How do you get on with Janosch and Adder?
Oh, those two. Once in Kuttenberg, I also had a servant who pretended not to understand me and thought... But he was wrong. There is no...
What do you think of Kubienka?
A good warrior. But he has no...
Well, I don't think he cares much about that.
And that is just the problem. How can you...
Да какие мысли о Катерине, блядь? Успокойся, нахуй.
Have you had the chance to meet my half-brother yet?
Samuel... It is strange that he joined your... I mean, our group.
Tell me, how did the siege of Kuttenberg go?
Ah, mon ami, poorly, poorly. But what could I do? Stand down from leading the defense like a coward? After all, I had to live up to my reputation. And at the time, it did not look hopeless at all. I thought it would be enough to stall Sigismund for a while before the Allied army arrived. And that would not have been so difficult.
Only no army arrived.
Précisément. The hope for a swift end melted away, and the courage of the burghers along with it. I, who fought in 5 countries, was relieved of command, arrested, and...
What other countries have you fought in?
In Italy, against the English, here of course, and I will tell you about the others another time. In the meantime, however, I can pass on some of my experience.
I'd like to learn.
Unfortunately, I cannot right now.
Sir Vaculin, you've had an exciting life. Tell me some stories.
Bien sûr. Your interest is...
Where does the name Brabant come?
That is simple. My compatriots call me that because I am original. One day, I shall tell you about my place of birth, but I am sure you will long to hear about the conquest of Arezzo, yes? Or would you rather hear how I saved the...
How did you save the King of France?
With Providence as my guide, mon ami. I came to the court from the field of battle to bring news of our victory, because, and remember this, the bearer of good news is always rewarded and cherished. But the king was in a bad mood and did not wish to be disturbed. Maybe I thought the news of our victory will dispel his ill humor.
How could you tell him if he didn't want to be disturbed?
Ha! I climbed up to his balcony and into his chambers to surprise him with the joyful tidings. And lo and behold, the king was writhing and gasping on the floor, overcome by one of his fits. Wasting not a moment, I dashed over to him and unblocked his throat, thus saving his life. In return, the king bestowed on me the title of Échanson, or cupbearer, and other generous gifts. And I then spent a while in his service at court. Unfortunately, though, even the king's favor does not last forever, and minor mistakes can come to overshadow good deeds.
Arezzo sounds interesting.
And so it was. That is where I earned my knighthood from the great Enguerrand de Concy himself, the commander of our Naples campaign. Enguerrand arranged his forces for battle, and I was put in charge of one of the cavalry units. Out of nowhere, the enemy appeared on our unprotected flank, and Enguerrand set me to hold them back so our main force could regroup. But I saw a gap in the enemy's main phalanx. I sounded the charge and sped forwards.
Wasn't that rather risky?
Un chevalier français fears nothing.
I reckon King Sigismund would think otherwise after Constantinople.
That was completely different. Alors, I caught them by surprise. I hacked my way to their standard and broke through all the way to the enemy's reservoirs. My attack sowed confusions in the enemy's ranks that encouraged the overlords who raced to join me, scattering everything in their path. And that is how we won the famous victory at Arezzo. Seeing that the force that was supposed to protect them had been routed. The city then surrendered to us. No doubt you had no inkling at Maleshov what a knight you had the honor to meet. And of course my feats on the field of battle do not end there.
A bold maneuver.
Quite right. Courage is my middle name. Just as Monsieur Chapon says, Audantes Fortuna Juva. That day I was the bravest of them all and won the day.
So you disobeyed your commander and left your flank exposed. Your attack could have ended in a total fiasco. You were lucky the others came to your assistance and your entire force didn't collapse.
I hear this speaking, but you are still wet behind the ears. So, I can forgive you. In short, I saw an opportunity and took it. Moments like that can decide entire wars.
What did your commander have to say?
He made me a knight and sent me to the royal court to inform the sovereign of our triumph.
I reckon he wanted to get you out of his hair.
Do not talk nonsense.
Интересно, он его подъебал, конечно. Ну, как он просто выдал факт. А этот что-то пытается все равно стоять на своем.
What other feats have you performed in battle?
Oh, many, mon ami. For one battle does not make a warrior. It would take a week to recount them all, so I will just tell you about my second greatest feat. On the Italian field, we faced John Hawkwood, a ruthless Englishman and a fearsome warrior. Surrounded, we were at his mercy. Night fell, and we knew he would attack at dawn, and that would be it. But just then, Providence put an idea in my mind.
Did you set some kind of trap?
You could say so. Unobserved, I mounted my horse and set off to find help. And, La Dame Chance was exceedingly kind to me that day. As I rode away, by chance, I stepped it off of our horses. Thinking we were trying to break through, Les Anglais went to head them off. But while the English were occupied with my serie, our units managed to flee. I saved many men from certain death that night, and many lords from the disgrace of capture. Needless to say, I was generously rewarded for my valor.
That is indeed incredible. But you were just trying to flee, weren't you?
I wanted to bring reinforcements, but as I say, I merely follow Providence, and she guides my steps, from triumph to triumph, wherever I go. Stick close to me, Henri, and Providence will favor you too.
What happened at court that led to you being out of favor?
Well, perhaps I shall tell you some other time. Would you not rather hear about the glorious duel between Le Gris and Carouge?
Tell me what happened at court that caused you to lose favor.
A major setback and a gross injustice, mon ami. It is an unhappy memory. Because it was the first time that La Dame Chance abandoned me.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. We can all learn from our failures. And I bet even your failures make for great stories.
Oui, that is certainly true. Very well then. I suffered a combination of misfortunes all at once. But bad luck in business and on a hunt were the worst of all.
How did you end up here?
Leaving the court with a modest sum, I launched to visit faraway lands. I traveled a lot, spending time in various countries and having many great adventures. When I learned that l'Empereur Charles, that great friend of France, had built the magnificent city of Prague in Bohème, I had to see it.
So people in foreign countries speak highly of Prague?
Bien sûr. It was abroad that I heard of King Wenceslaus' Silver City and its reputed vast wealth. I bought the abandoned Miskowitz estates and shares in the Kuttenberg mines. And for a time I settled here to provide for myself and wait for King Wenceslas, whom I wished to serve. But even here fate did not let me be. When Sigismund brought his army to the city, I appointed myself to lead its defense. For how better to make King Wenceslas aware of me than by saving his beloved city? Victory was assured, but the burghers had other ideas. The city was handed over to the enemy, and I with it, stripped of my possessions. I languished in captivity, until fate again stepped in by sending you to Malishov.
Sir Vaclin, I'm surprised how well you speak our language. Where did you learn it?
Where do you think? Here, of course. Ce n'était même pas difficile. Perhaps I have already mentioned that I am guided by Providence? She endowed me with many talents, mastery of language among them. I can communicate almost everywhere in a word, and learn every new tongue in a trice. I now speak French, German, Italian, Latin, Hungarian, and Czech. Some English, though that is only a necessary evil.
Tell me about Brabant province. Is it far from here?
Quite far. From Bohemia, you would go to Bamberg and then follow the river Main until it joins the Rhone. Then you sail down the Rhone until it reaches the sea. And there, between the river and La Flandre, you will find Brabant, with its wealthy cities. Anvers, Bruxelles, Louvain, and many others. But those three cities are the equal of Paris, Rome, or your Prague. Both the Dukes of Burgundy and the Imperial Princes would like to annex our land, but like everywhere else, you can only come into wealth by...
What was the hunting in?
We were out in the royal hunting grounds. There had long been rumors about it, so I set off after it, pierced its flank with arrows. When I arrived, it turned out that my aunt had not killed a stag, but the horse of a lady, a court favorite of the queen's. I fell out of her favor.
Christ almighty! How could you have mistaken a horse for a stag?
I did not. It was the hounds. The stag must have got away.
That's nonsense.
Oh, why do you say so?
Hunting dogs are trained to go after game. They'd never attack a horse, especially hounds from the royal kennels. You must have made the mistake and set them on the horse.
Well, normally that would be true, of course, but the ounce I was given had some kind of sickness. That, no doubt they gave me those. A misfortune like that, which could indeed happen to anyone. But the other lords were afraid I would outshine them, so they were waiting for a chance.
You were in business?
Of course. I come from my birthplace gave me an unrivaled nose for corn, and the reputation of that is, until I persuaded an important nobleman to all the ships he bought sank in a tempest. Of course, he wrongly blamed me for everything, but my advice was sound. He was simply punished by God for fornicating with every wench from the Pyrenees to Brittany. Bragging about it, I told him as much. But some people never admit their mistakes.
A sea voyage from France to Africa? You must have known that was a massive risk.
A risk, perhaps. But think of the fortune to be made. A man must think big if he wants to achieve greatness, no?
Big ideas often lead to big trouble. Storms, pirates, sea monsters, uncharted... You should have tried the Baltic trade route.
You are right. But that is under Hanseatic control and there is too much competition. Africa, mon ami, that is the land of opportunity. The Arabs sell to the... Just imagine selling further and trading directly with African... Remember this, because one day I will be
Luckery and Cargouche. Sounds like a pair of jesters.
En aucun cas. Jacques le Gris and Jean de Carouge. There's two great knights were in a legal dispute over an estate. But above all, when de Carouge... She claimed that he had raped her, while he said he had seduced him. First, they jousted. Then they fought and Le Gris thought victory was in his grasp. But de Carouge suddenly pounced on him, arrested him. Even so, Le Gris refused to admit his guilt. And de Carouge... And if you promise not to tell, I will let you into a secret about that dagger.
Tell me the secret. I promise I'll keep it to myself.
Bien. As I say, de Carouge killed Le Gris with a dagger. And I found a blessed blade, an instrument of divine justice. The dagger... So, I had several copies made and sold them to rich French noblemen. That is how I first came into wealth. And I used the...
That's fraud.
You need to be more enterprising, mon ami. It was one of the greatest things I ever saw, and half of France came to watch, including the king. I later told the story to anyone who was interested. One of my listeners, I could have written it myself, of course, but I am happy to help others find success.
Thanks for sharing your stories with me, Sir Vaclin.
Пиздец. Вообще такой, блядь, мутный, странный тип. Просто ужас. Лучше бы я с ним не разговаривал и не знал, что он из себя представляет. Ай, ладно, я на этом, наверное, закончу. Мне что-то пора бежать. Продолжим в следующей серии разговаривать и уйдем из этого замка. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайк, подписывайтесь. А главное, комментируйте, чтобы я мог с вами общаться. До скорых встреч.